Thank you, Excellency, for accepting the interview with TVBS. I'm Ting Ting, and it's my greatest honor to be able to speak to you via video conferencing. So to begin first, there's a lot of ongoing talks on the possibility of a travel bubble between Taiwan and Palau. From what I understand is that you have actually been actively pushing for it. So first question first, why choose Taiwan first?
Well, first of all, as you know, Palau is one of the few countries remaining that is COVID-free, meaning we haven't had a COVID case in Palau. And because of that, our people are very fearful of COVID and COVID coming to our country. So it's important for us, if we want to have any type of tourism, to find a country that is in a similar situation. And, you know, I want to congratulate the people and the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, on really controlling and maintaining Taiwan and keeping it really COVID safe. Yes, there was a little outbreak, but for the most part, you are COVID safe, or I would say COVID free. And that's why it's so important that if Palau does open up tourism, it's to a place that we know that we are safe. And we are very confident with what you've shown, I think, and demonstrated throughout the past year, that you are COVID safe. And Palau is at the point where we're ready to accept visitors from Taiwan to Palau.
So what is the ideal protocol of the government that you have actually in mind for this bubble to work? So let's say in terms of the number of PCR tests required before, or maybe do you think that Taiwanese tourists need to be quarantined upon arrival?
So our plan is that if you receive a PCR test in Taiwan before you board the plane, at least 72, and then we will do an antigen test here in Palau once you arrive. You will not be subject to any quarantine. You will be able to go and see the sites and stay here. Hopefully, under the current regulations, we're saying 7 days and then return. Because the reason behind 7 days is they say possibly after 7 days the virus may come out. So it's also about reducing risk for the Palauan people. And I hope you understand. It's not that we don't want you to stay here for 2 weeks. It's just at this time, we're asking for 7 days, but in the future we may, we continue to adapt. But that's our goal is to bring visitors in, enjoy our country, and in the safest way possible. So, and we know that if you're a tourist, you want to spend your time visiting, not in quarantine. So that's why absolutely no quarantine. You come, you visit, you enjoy, and then you can go home.
So actually you mentioned that earlier there may have been concerns that a few cases are exported from Taiwan and that has actually been tested positive in overseas countries, meaning that they may or may not actually have risk of a transmitted infection, which I believe that, as Taiwanese people in Taiwan, we would not want to have this happen to our friends in Palau. But with that said, do you think that people in Palau welcome tourists from Taiwan?
There's risk in everything. There's nothing that's 100% sure. But we also understand that the people of Taiwan care about Palau. And I'm sure that the last thing that they want to do is bring COVID to Palau. And then I think that's why we're working with the government to make sure that we put this testing in place just to be extra sure. But we really have confidence and faith in the Taiwanese people because of our strong and lasting relationship. I think the people of Palau will be excited to see the first travelers to Palau. And yes, there is the possibility, and of course everybody's always afraid of the possibility, but I think one of the things that we were able to do during the visit of the CEC team that came to Palau in early January, and also Foreign Minister Wu, when he came to the inauguration, was also to demonstrate to the people of Palau, because when they came to Palau, we didn't quarantine them. They came, they did what they had to do, and they left. And I think that helped people in Palau get a little more relaxed and a better understanding that we tested them with PCR tests before they left Taiwan. We did antigen tests at the airport. You see, the system works. Yes, there is a risk, but we minimize that risk by testing. And we already know that there is no community spread in Taiwan. I know that our original plan was February, that maybe we would have flights. But because of that outbreak at the near Taoyuan airport, at the hospital, ambassador said, we have to put everything on hold right now. So the good news is that has been contained. And so we're very hopeful. And that also put our people they were also fearful when that outbreak happened. And we understand that. So I think to mitigate the risk, we said, okay, let's just put that on hold. Now it's March. It looks like everything is under control. Maybe there's an opportunity now to really go full speed now ahead and begin this travel bubble.
So what are some ongoing initiatives that you have in place to ensure the safety of Palauans, let's say in terms of vaccine?
Oh, that's a very good question. We've been very fortunate because Palau has a very close relationship with the United States as a freely associated state is what we call it. They included Palau as part of Operation Warp Speed. So Palau began getting its first vaccines in the January, I think it was January 4th that they first arrived, and I got vaccinated. I was one of the first that got vaccinated, and then received my second shot the first week of February. So the vaccines have been arriving in Palau. We have vaccinated the first dose to over 5,000 people. So 5,000 people, just to give you an idea, because Palau is a small place. There's 14,000 adults that need to be vaccinated. So that gives you an idea that we're already over 30% have the first dose. In fact, this week we have a team from the U.S. government. It's called the Health and Human Services. They arrived. They're helping us in the vaccination process. And we have an additional 5,400 doses, which accommodates another 2,600 people. And next week, actually on Thursday this week, we start having another 1,000. So our goal is by the end of this month, more than 8,000 people, more than 50% of the people that need to be vaccinated would already have received their first dose. And by the first couple of weeks of next month, have already received their second dose. So I think that's also helping our people be more confident that if, one case does arrive, the protocols that we have in place, we'll catch it, contain it, and we have facilities, we have labs, we have isolation areas already set up. We haven't used them yet, but they've been ready for the past year. And, once again, we have to thank the people and government of Taiwan for helping us in our preparedness for COVID. And we're just fortunate that it hasn't arrived, but helping us getting ready, like the lab, setting up the PCR testing was something that your government helped us with. They even, people came in on those medical charter flights that we were running to help us get those things set up. And we're just so appreciative. And I think that's one of the reasons why our people are very accepting and very excited to have the people of Taiwan. Midway through February, all those hospital workers were vaccinated already, like I was vaccinated. So that's why I said in February, we were already ready. And now with this next rollout, we're actually vaccinating businesses, hotels, everybody's getting vaccinated. So what's happened already is before the first flights arrive, which we hope are sometimes this month, hopefully. March 15th, I know that was in the news, but I don't think that's realistic. But any time after that would be great. But I think our people will be ready because not only are the frontline workers that are customs, immigration, hospital already vaccinated, all the businesses that will come into contact with the people that will possibly come into contact with the tourists will also be vaccinated. So they have the confidence that they can receive the guests and they can feel that they're safe.
Have the Taiwanese government actually give you a more specific time frame?
They have not given me an exact date. And they said we're working toward it. All I can say from our side is we're ready. So now we just have to wait on the Taiwanese government. Once they say they're ready, then we can begin. I was excited to know that in our first request to Taiwan about how many flights a week that we would allow to Palau, we told them we'd allow 2 flights a week to start. And the response immediately back was, why only 2? And we said, well, our health professionals here, they want to get some comfort level started first, right? Let's have 2 flights, 100 passengers on each flight, kind of get used to the process. And but the response was, but we want more flights, which we want more flights. And but the idea is on rolling out is we're thinking that we would have 2 flights for 2 weeks, and then after that we would go to maybe 4 flights for a month, and then hopefully go to 16 flights a week. But I think we need to make sure that we're prepared. We have the testing kits. The customers are happy with the process because we'll be testing them at the airport. Just making sure that we have the processes smooth, because we don't want visitors to come and have long lines and then get mad at our officials because we cannot do things in a proper manner. So we ask for your patience, but we're excited to know that there's the interest for people to come to Palau. And yes, 16 flights, I told the ambassador, it should be open skies. As many as you want to send, we'll take them. But step by step, I always say step by step.
I know that you actually just come to office in January this year, but I just want to push the time a bit further back. In April 2020 last year, when the Taiwanese Navy ships actually visit Palau, and there has actually been an outbreak upon their arrival back from their trip. With that outbreak, do you think that people actually still trust and believe that people in Taiwan visiting Palau, we can actually ensure that both countries are safe?
Yes, I know that you bring that up, and yes, our health professionals here often point to that incident and tell us that, you say Taiwan is COVID safe, but you remember those sailors came to Palau. And I say, that happened a year ago. We don't know what happened back then. We're fortunate that no COVID cases arise in Palau. I think we've progressed a lot since then. And there's nothing that's 100% guaranteed, but I think trust is there. We've continued our flights to Taiwan. We've continued to bring passengers back. Essential workers have been flying back and forth. And I think we've proven over the past year that we can keep the people of Palau safe if we have these measures in place. So I think we as a country, I think we're confident in what the people of Taiwan have demonstrated over the past year. And we trust you. And that's what's, I think, most important. That trust is the key.
What do you think is the significance of this travel bubble internationally?
Well, I think it demonstrates to the world how COVID-free or COVID-safe countries can start the tourism business in a safe way. The other thing that's so important, I think, for Palau is, as you know, we're a tourism-based economy. And this has been devastating for our economy because for the past year, 42% of the people that work in the private sector have been unemployed. That's a lot of people. In fact, it's 30% of our workforce, 33% of our workforce are unemployed. And by having this travel bubble, it really gives a ray of hope to our people that they can get their lives back in order. When you're not receiving a paycheck, you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. There's no other stress like that. It's just how you're going to take care of your family. So just having the opportunity to have tourists come back so people can be employed and take care of their families is so important. And I think this is an opportunity to demonstrate to the world how COVID-safe countries can have travel bubbles and can begin this process of reopening. I know other countries that have COVID have reopened and they're working through it. And I guess it's easier for them because they have COVID. But for us who are COVID-free, this is really the only opportunity that we have. And it's really to partner with a country that is COVID safe and COVID as close to COVID free as you can get. And I wish we could open up to more countries, but we want to be safe. And I think that's one thing that we share with Taiwan is you also want to be safe. Any little thing, you shut it down. And so, we admire that and want to partner with countries that share the same values. And I think that you've demonstrated that. So we just are grateful for the opportunity and look forward to the first flights that we'll be able to take people back and forth. On the humanitarian side, one of the things why it's so important for us to establish regular flights is our patients now go to Taiwan and they have to stay there a month and they cannot come back. So it's also a big burden on the families and some only need to be there for a couple of days. They go in, they get an angiogram or they get some kind of treatment. They need to be able to get back to work, but they're separated from their families for a month because there's no other way to get around it. So on the humanitarian side, allowing for regular flights will help patients. Shin Kong has been a great service to the people of Palau and allowing patients to go there and get treated and come back, and just allowing for that regular service will really help that on the humanitarian side. For business, I think it'll help. There's people in Palau that also want to visit Taiwan, so we're hoping that that will also be part of this going forward. We're definitely excited about Taiwanese coming to Palau, but there's also people in Palau that have gotten island fever, so they need to get out also. And Taiwan would be a great place to visit. Now that we know that you're COVID safe, and so we're looking forward to that.
Do you have plans to visit Taiwan to announce the establishment of the travel bubble, or do you see yourself visiting Taiwan after the launch?
From the very beginning, and this is something the ambassador and I talked about, was we want to be on the first flights there to promote visits to Palau. Maybe not an official state visit, but more of a promotional visit. And yes, so definitely. I want to also show to our people that we have the confidence that it's a COVID safe country. That's why first flight, I'm coming.
Will you invite President Tsai to visit Palau through the same travel bubble?
Absolutely. I've talked to her when we had our phone, our Zoom conference a few months ago, before I got inaugurated, and that was one of the things that we talked about. Let's get the travel bubble going, so I can come and visit, and you can come and visit us. And that would be great if we could get that going as soon as possible. I know they couldn't come for the inauguration, but our doors are open and we're looking forward to the day she can come and visit us.
Your Excellency, Palau has constantly spoken up for Taiwan at the United Nations or the WHO, though the call for more participation have actually been ignored. Do you see that there may be a possibility of this changing in the near future?
I think we need to continue to advocate for the people of Taiwan. You are a leader. You have a strong economy, and you're a leader in the field of health. And what just with COVID, you've demonstrated that. And that's a demonstration of why you should be part of these organizations, because the knowledge that you have, the experiences that you have, need to be shared with the world. And I think, having this bubble between Taiwan and Palau can just exemplify that and show that even better of how countries that share the same values and have worked together to really keep Palau safe. By Taiwan helping us getting the PCR machines and the lab set up and being able to protect our borders. It's just a demonstration of how you deal with this pandemic and you keep your population safe. And Taiwan just demonstrates that. We have a small population. You have 22 million people, and you've done a fantastic job. And you should be proud of that. And that should be shared with the world. Pandemics, I hear, this is just the beginning. There's going to be more coming. And that knowledge, that expertise that you have should be shared with the world. And for the world to say, no, you shouldn't be part of these organizations is wrong. And we should continue to advocate, and we should continue to fight. I think that's what we demonstrated in the PIF was, we should not be ignored. Even though we're small islands, Micronesia is made up of small islands, small population, but we should have a voice. And we should be part of an organization, and we should have the same opportunities that everybody else has. And I think that's really the message that we would like to share, and would like to share on behalf of Taiwan to the world, that Taiwan deserves a right to be part of these organizations so they can not only participate, but they can share what they know with the world.
How do you actually hope to push forward the diplomatic ties between Taiwan and Palau?
Well, we have very strong ties now. I think our bilateral cooperation just keeps on getting stronger. And, I think one of the areas that we'd like to see more of in Palau is investment by Taiwanese businesses in Palau. Maybe they can look at Palau as in areas of aquaculture, agriculture, of course, tourism investment, even investment in the financial sector. Look at other opportunities to develop businesses in Palau. One of the areas that we'd like to see is possibly looking into the future of developing our healthcare sector and our education sector. When I say education sector, providing maybe a 4-year university here to allow people from overseas, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, all of Asia, come to Palau to go to school. Because in Palau we speak American English, which I understand is people want to learn English. So why not have a university here, high schools, summer programs that kids can come here and learn English. Maybe their parents can come and vacation while they're learning English. And we can grow together. So I think there's other areas that we can really develop and strengthen the relationship and provide more opportunities for our peoples to engage and grow closer together. Palau's relationship with Taiwan is strong, and I can only see it becoming stronger. I want to thank President Chai and the people of Taiwan for all that you've done to help us in the areas of agriculture, aquaculture, infrastructure, education, and health, really helping our economy and country grow. And we look forward to more of those opportunities to engage and work together.
Do you have a message for President Tsai?
I look forward to seeing you very soon. I hope it's very soon. President Chai, I just want to thank you for your leadership and congratulate you on what you've done to keep the people of Taiwan safe during this COVID crisis. In fact, yesterday I was at an International Women's Day conference, and I was saying, one of the things that we need to change is the stereotypes that we have about leadership. If we want more women in government, we need to change our thinking of what their roles should be. And in fact, I don't like to say it, but in fact, it's been proven that Taiwan and New Zealand have demonstrated the best control of COVID compared to other countries. And they say that's because they have women in leadership. And so on International Women's Day, I congratulate President Chai. So I said, I wasn't sure if I was advocating that I should be removed from office, but I think it's a demonstration of her leadership. And really it comes down to caring and loving her people. And I congratulate her and congratulate the people of Taiwan. And I just look forward to visiting and look forward to President Chai visiting us in Palau. So,
thank you so much, Your Excellency, for accepting this exclusive interview with TVBS. It is a great honor and pleasure to speak with you.
网上看新闻，请下载 TVBS App 或直接按订阅 TVBS 新闻频道。